Welcome to the weekly press briefing of the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, where we aim to provide journalists with an update on the latest developments at the court and the opportunity to ask questions. This briefing covers developments in the proceedings since the 14th of December 2023, including decisions taken during the winter judicial recess, which finished on the 5th of January. During the recess period, the court remained functional and work continued across all sections of the KSC. In the Haji Shala case, the pretrial judge determined on 14th of December that the working language in the case would be English, as requested by both the prosecution and the duty counsel of Mr. Shala. The first status conference was held on the 15th of December, at which Mr. Shala requested to enter a plea, and subsequently pleaded not guilty to all three charges in the indictment. On 19th of December, the pretrial judge issued a framework decision on disclosure of evidence and related matters in the same case. Among other things, this decision sets out a series of deadlines in January and February, by which time the prosecution must share with the defense different categories of evidence. This process is also known as disclosure. Following an earlier request by the prosecution to join the case of Mr. Haji Shala and the case of Mr. Yanuzi and Mr. Batiari into a single trial, the pretrial judge issued an oral order on 14th of December, directing the prosecution to file its proposed joinder indictment by 12th of January. In December, the registrar appointed Jonathan Elliston Reese as counsel for Mr. Yanuzi, and in January, she appointed Felicity Gary as counsel for Mr. Ismet Batiari, and Toby Cadman as counsel for Mr. Haji Shala. In the Thachi et al. Case, on 15th of December, the trial panel ordered the continued detention of Hashim Thachi and Kadri Vaseli in separate decisions. For both accused, the judges found that there continues to be a risk that they will obstruct the progress of proceedings and commit further crimes against those perceived as being opposed to the KLA, including witnesses who have provided or could provide evidence in the case. The trial panel maintained the view that these risks can only be mitigated through the communication monitoring framework applicable at the Specialist Chambers detention facilities, including those measures recently ordered by the trial panel. In the same case, on 15th of December, the trial panel partially granted the prosecution's request to admit into evidence the written statements of some witnesses, including witnesses who had testified in other cases and since died. The KSC law, as adopted by the Kosovo Assembly, provides that testimony given before the ICTY and before Kosovo courts may be admissible in the trials. In line with this, the rules of procedure and evidence say that the written testimony of persons who have since died may be admitted if the judges are satisfied that, quote, the statement, the record, or the transcript is prima facie reliable. As with any piece of evidence, it will be up to the judges in the course of the trial to determine the weight and value of such statements in the context of the overall case. On 18th of December, the trial panel in the Thachi et al. Case authorized the prosecution to apply additional redactions to a piece of exculpatory evidence as permitted under the rules for the protection of a witness. On 19th of December, the trial panel partially granted requests from the Krasniqi defense and the Salimi defense to appeal an earlier decision on whether certain previous statements of the accused can be admitted as evidence. The president of the Specialist Chambers has assigned Judge Michelle Picard, Judge Emilio Gatti, and Judge Nina Jorgensen to a Court of Appeals panel to decide on these matters. On the 20th of December 2023, the trial panel decided on complaints made by Mr. Salimi, which were joined by Mr. Thachi and Mr. Vaseli, in relation to the registrar's implementation of the trial panel's 1st of December decision modifying the detention conditions for the three accused. The panel denied the request as premature, noting that such complaints should first be submitted directly to the registrar and, if denied, that the detainees can then request judicial review of the registrar's decision by the trial panel. 4 hearings previously scheduled in February in the Thacci et al. Case have been canceled, following a request from the Vaselli defense. The trial panel found that the defense had shown good cause for a limited adjustment of the schedule in order to ensure the defense's ability to prepare for the cross-examination of the upcoming witnesses, and that such cross-examination is not affected by the recent sudden death of one of its co-counsel. On 3rd of January, the registrar informed the trial panel of the confirmation of approval of Ms. Carrie Ann Rowan as co-counsel for Kadri Vaselli. The next scheduled hearing in the Thacci et al. Case will take place next Monday, 15th of January. Hearings in the Pietrashala trial resumed this week. The 10th witness called by the defense, Safet Gashi, testified without protective measures on Tuesday and on Wednesday. During yesterday's hearing, the judges issued a number of oral orders, one of which related to a defense request to add the expert report of a psychologist to the list of exhibits in the case, and to call her to testify in person. The trial panel ordered that the witness and the report, which the trial panel found relevant for sentencing in case the accused is found guilty, should be added to the defense lists of witnesses and evidence. However, the judges rejected the request that the testimony take place in court. In the same case, on 9th of January, the trial panel issued its 5th decision on redactions and transcripts, which included reclassifying as public parts of the transcripts of trial hearings held in private session between the 23rd and the 25th of October. In the Salih Mustafa case, the public redacted version of the full appeals judgment was issued in December and can now be accessed on the KSC website.